Hi, it's Beth here. 5:45. That's not the time. That's the number of episodes. But anyway, I've been gone for 6 days because I can't believe I got what I wanted. I can't believe I'm a baby cuddler. I went in on Tuesday. I went in on Thursday, Wednesday. Just love it. Almost went on Friday, but Killian came to visit, my little 7-year-old friend, who is changing his name to Kenny because he doesn't like his nickname, which is Kill. That's what people do. So he switched to Kenny. I don't know if he's ever seen South Park, and he knows that in every episode Kenny died. I hope he doesn't know that. I told him that my name was Mary Elizabeth, and he said, "You don't look like a Mary." And I said, I didn't feel like a Mary either. And, I didn't think I was good enough to be named after the Blessed Virgin Mother. I lost him, got him right back by saying, so I changed my name to Beth. So I told him I was fully supportive of him changing his name to Kenny. We went to the McDonald's playground. He's delightful. He's wonderful. And now we just have to get used to calling him Kenny. We gave him a Pikachu from his secret admirer, and it was a perfect day. And now it's Sunday, so I don't even know what happened to yesterday. I really don't. It's just absolutely like a dream to get something I want. So I looked over the paper, and that's not even worth it. Okay. There's this new thing about this boy. His name is West Wilson, and he's on this show called Summer House. The girls love him. And he's good looking. He's cute. He's 5'11", he's cute. But I looked into his videos, and he's very witty, but what he actually has is a face that's elastic, like a comedian. Every emotion comes across on his face. And I'm sure he's not looking at the camera or caring what the camera's seeing, because he can look really handsome, really goofy, but he's always listening to the other person, and he's always responding with facial features to what they say. And all the girls love him, and I think it's because he's a good listener. So, and he's kind of the first, they say he's the first white guy that anybody's liked in a long time. And I'm really happy for that, because there's a bunch of kids out there that I don't think have anybody to look up to. So this guy, he's very easygoing. He doesn't care what he looks like. He's just a sweetheart of a guy. So this is a new little hero out there and I'm really surprised all the girls like him, because he doesn't have a walk. He doesn't have a look. He has no ego. It's adorable. So, good for that. I'm happy. I want every kid to see this guy, because he's easy to emulate. All you have to do is be yourself and be nice. Okay, so then there's this big wedding, by the richest people in India. And it's, I can't even pronounce these names. Anat Abani and Rahika Merchant are getting married. But at the wedding, Rihanna, they're having parties before the wedding, which is happening everywhere. It's crazy. I thought it was just happening to me and my friends, and we were being excluded from the private ceremony. That is what people are doing all the time. These people are having parties to celebrate the wedding that hasn't even happened. But at one of these parties, Mark Zuckerberg was sitting near Ivanka Trump. And I'm thinking, I wish I could have just watched that while Rihanna was singing. Okay, these weddings, the guests, they included billionaires and Bollywood superstars. They were all offered services like these were offered to you free. Chartered flights, makeup artists, top chefs, luxury vehicles, drop-off clothes that you might want to try on. I want to go to this wedding. it had a glass palace. They made a glass palace. It was built for the occasion. And there was a light show consisting of more than 5,000 drones. What a party. So, good luck. I hope they live happily ever after. And the date for their wedding was determined by a Hindu tradition of getting married on an auspicious date based on the couple's birth dates. They look very happy. I'm very happy. But wow, what a wedding list. Okay, so then there was this story. So we're going to keep up on the news. So that there's somebody in here that I had never even heard of. And she's a singer. And she's big. Everybody knows her. She's gorgeous. She's from Nigeria. And she got discovered. This is so cute. She got discovered by Rihanna again, we're talking about her a lot, was obsessed with this singer. So she invited her to America to help her write the Black Panther Lift Me Up song, which became an Oscar winner. Okay? Her name is Thames. Everybody's talking about her, just in case anybody says that name to you. And that's not her real name. Her real name is Temaland Openiyo. Okay? We call her Thames. In case you have a granddaughter or something that wants you to listen to her music, I listen to it. It's okay. I don't get it. But her name's Thames, okay? And she's got a little beat. I'm sure everybody's dancing to it. Fine. We need to know. She's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, big, gorgeous woman. All right, so here, I never looked at this section of the New York Times before. It's called the Metropolitan Diary. Oh my God, it was so great. Somebody wrote in, how to succeed. Dear Diary, I just moved into my apartment over Joe Allen's on West 46th Street. Okay? I bought enough. Okay, so he bought supplies at the grocery store to fill up his refrigerator. Okay, he had 2 full paper bags overflowing. It was just after 7:30 and people were leaving restaurants and heading to the theater. I was 4 doors away from my apartment when I set the bags down. The one that was beginning to rip tore completely and everything in it spilled all over the sidewalk. A man who was walking by stopped and asked kindly if he could help. I told him I could run to my apartment and grab a large garbage bag to gather up all the spilled groceries. He agreed to stand guard over my food until I got back. When I returned, I shoved the groceries into the bag while thanking the man profusely. As I finished, I looked up and suddenly realized who he was. Oh my God, I stammered, you're Robert Morse. He smiled, and I thanked him, and then he walked away. How to succeed in business. I didn't think New York was like this anymore. This is real. Oh, and here's another one. This one is my favorite. It was a Sunday morning, and I was riding uptown on the number 4 train. It's not a good train. A well-dressed older woman got on at the Brooklyn Bridge and took a seat across from me. We smiled at each other, and I looked back down at my phone and continued reading. Looking up after a moment, I was shocked to see the woman kneeling in front of me on the floor of the moving train. I said something in protest. The woman looked up. She said, listen, honey, I'm just tying your shoe. I don't want you to fall down. That's so sweet. I remember going into a deli and I'm ordering, and the man goes, you're doing a terrible job of ordering. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, you don't want the roast beef like that. You want the roast beef paper thin. You don't want mayonnaise. You want horseradish. You want a nice piece of rye bread. And you want a little bit of lettuce, not much, and a little bit of onion. He said, that's how you do it. Don't do it the way you're doing it. So I ordered it correctly, and it was good, not better. Thanked him profusely. Same thing happened to me at the movie theater. I'm ordering popcorn. I must have been 15. And this man behind me slaps me on the back. He goes, you're doing this all wrong. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, I can look at you. I see. You want butter. Lots of butter. I'm like, yeah, I want a lot of butter. He goes, listen, this is what you do. You tell the guy, I want extra butter. Stop when I say when. The guy looks at me, points his finger, and he says, and then you never say yeah. You never say when. Get all the butter you ever wanted. I do that. He was right. Okay, so here's another one. Oh, this one is great. Okay. It was a cold, sunny afternoon, and I was on the Upper West Side with some time to spare, so I went into a Barnes & Noble. I searched the mystery section for A Thin Man by Dashiell Hammett. After finding a copy, I settled into an empty chair. Soon a woman wearing chic red glasses sat down beside me. She had 2 Dorothy Parker books. Gosh, this is like a dream. Have you ever read Dorothy Parker before? She asked me. No. But I might try it. I need something for my book club. The woman said, yes, take this. I want you to have it. He goes, no. I'll find a copy. I'll find a copy on my own. He goes down the street, goes to another bookstore. He left the copy of The Thin Man because he actually didn't have any money on him. Walked down the street, looked in another bookstore. There was a Dorothy Parker book for $1. He walks inside. He goes, oh my gosh, I need this. Can you just wait an hour? I'll come back with $1. The store owner goes, just take it. Just take it. I didn't think New York was nice like this anymore. I thought everybody was just getting clubbed like baby seals. This is fantastic. Okay, so this was my, perfect pink bike, okay? It was some years ago, and I had gotten a fantastic deal on a floor model cruiser bike at the Kmart on Astor Place. The bike was a deep pink and had a pretty basket. It was a perfect petite size for my 5'1" frame. I managed to get it down the stairs to the 6 train platform and then into a crowded train car. The problem came after I had gotten off and was confronted with having to lug it up what felt like an insurmountable staircase to the street and eventually to my apartment. As I paused at the foot of the stairs, looked up and considered the challenge ahead of me, a man with a kind smile and what appeared to be the strength of a professional wrestler offered to carry the bike for me. You're not going to run off with it, are you? I asked. He looked at me and shrugged his broad shoulders, and he said, lady, I wouldn't be caught dead riding this thing. You want me to get it up the stairs? You don't want me to get it up the stairs? Just let me know. The lady said, please and thank you. He said, okay, and he took it up the stairs. But I absolutely had no idea that people were just as sweet as they could be. It's just amazing. So I'm going to read this every single week from now on. It's probably been there for 100 years. Metropolitan Diary. Cute stories, people write in. Okay. Now, there's something here, obviously, that is eluding me. Oh, yeah. This is in the Wall Street Journal, and I hate reading because I have a reading disability. It's got to be worse than dyslexia. I read every single word. It takes me forever to finish any book. I find typos in the New York Times, the Encyclopedia Britannica, everywhere. But it takes me forever to read a book, but I might have to get this. This one's called When Women Ran Fifth Avenue. And it's the story of these 3 women who ran Von Teller, Henri Bundel, and Lord & Taylor. And what it was like during the most fantastic time ever. Von Teller's had a look. Lord & Taylor had a look. My mother actually was a Lord & Taylor sketch model. And she was tall and willowy with black hair and ice blue eyes. And that was the look. And then the Von Teller girl was more a girl who might actually have a job, might actually be going into New York City, or at least going to Hunter College or somewhere. And then there was the Henri Bundel girl, which was oh my gosh, she was small. She had a beautiful figure. Like, that store had 3 sizes, and their large was a small in any other store. And that store was run by Geraldine Stutz, who seemed to do the best job. My grandmother worked in B. Altman, which on Mrs. Maisel, they show B. Altman. Oh my gosh. And actually in the Metropolitan Museum, there's a room with Benjamin Altman's unbelievably huge, fantastic paintings that were in his private home. These stores, what my grandmother working in B. Altman's was for me, it was as if she was in heaven. Everything was beautiful. Everything was quiet. Everything was luxurious. It just, you had to bring out the best in yourself to be part of it, which was fun. In the restaurants, always the most beautiful girl food you could imagine. Everybody was the best version of themselves, which isn't a bad thing. But these women, way back, like in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, were running these stores. I had no idea. And the Stutz woman, she was a pioneer. She actually, Bendel's, okay, so what happened was, she introduced a manufacturing arm to Bendel in a leased warehouse across the street. Bendel's studio produced collections exclusive to the store from designers like Karl Lagerfeld and Jean Mayer. In the process, Bendel went from being a client of the garment district into being a competitor. That was all because of her. And now all these stores are gone. Some of the properties were sold for the value of the land underneath them. And Bendel's just hung in there for as long as they could. And now they're gone too. And they're gone. Like those names, like Neiman Marcus kept the name. I worked in the store when it was sold to Broadway Mayer, this huge conglomerate. And all of the originality and specificity of that store was gone. Everything that you could go, you got that at Neiman's, was gone. And it just had what every other big store had. Just the saddest thing. And really, you could tell if an outfit was bought in Bonwitz or Lord & Taylor. Lord & Taylor girls were a bit like Ralph Lauren now. They were, and boat shoes and cruise wear, and oh my gosh, those were the days. Okay, so Harry Hamlin is going to have a TV show about cooking with his niece. And a lot of young people know him because The Clash of the Titans is still on TV, and he was Perseus. That's so funny. It was 1981. But I'm going to watch the show because in the article written by a very young person, they said, now the septuagenarian heartthrob. I'm like, whoa, okay. So he does it with his niece named Renee, and then I'm reading down and everything's going great. Is there anything else your kids request? My daughter, she likes my artichokes. And I'm reading, and then he goes, Ursula, okay, but it's the dipping sauce that kind of makes the artichoke. Ursula Andress is my son's mother, and she taught me how to make that. What? I was like, what? I remember that affair because she was older and he was younger. That was the first time I ever saw Harry Hamlin. He was with Ursula Andress from 007. She was in her 40s. I didn't know they had a baby. His name was Dimitri. I don't even know how old she was when she had him. But he is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And he's on this show too. So, he's a visitor. Mary Steenburgen and her husband come on the show too. He has this thing called a linoleum chicken. And the way it got its name is he had people over for dinner. And he dropped it on the linoleum back in the 80s. And I'm not if I ever have dinner with this guy, I'm staying in the kitchen watching him every second. But anyway, his recipes seem sweet. He just seems like a sweet guy. But there was a little tension with Dimitri and Lisa Renee's daughters, who are very beautiful. But that's all gone. So this TV show has brought the whole family back together. And I'm telling you, just Google Dimitri Hamlin. He looks almost too good to be true. And he does look like his mother. He looks like Perseus. He looks like he should have been in that Titan movie. Wow. And he was an actor, a little bit of an actor. Okay, so here's something that's amazing. And this is the last thing I'm going to talk about because this is so big. The New York Times today bring back the tearjerker. They called Field of Dreams the ultimate dad cry. I was at the theater. It was mobbed. This was years and years ago when people used to go to the movies on Saturday night. Mobbed. That movie, the end, the men were crying. And they were crying with each other. And the women were kind of crying, but not like the men. It was a dad tearjerker. And so what this person is saying is we need more chances to show our humanity to one another in public. We need to learn how to reassure one another that we're all sensitive beings. And that's what happened at this movie theater. These guys were crying and laughing at each other, as strangers to each other, all around the same age, like in their 40s, that they were choked up from the movie. It was an amazingly fun moment. It really was. I had another fun moment that it was scary. It wasn't a tearjerker. It was, oh my gosh, the Glenn Close one with Michael Douglas, where she drowns the rabbit. Remember that one? She has an affair with Michael Douglas, who's married. Fatal Attraction. And they have the affair. And at the end of the movie, back movie theater, we were with other couples, actually. Like, that's weird, but we were, like, with two other couples. We're sitting there. At the end of this movie, the guys can't get out of their chairs. Collective gasps, sighs, whews were going on. And Kit said, well, I learned my lesson. And all these guys are like, yeah. And he said, I'm not going to have an affair with Glenn Close. And all these guys laughed. It's true. We need to do this. We need to get together. So the reason that they're gone is because Titanic actually was the last tearjerker, but it was also producers focused on films after this which would appeal to the 4 quadrants. Viewers, male and female, young and old. Too often tearjerkers were dismissed as female-focused. And that a 12-year-old boy would, the demographic they were actually going for, because parents take their 12-year-old boy to movies, would never see a tearjerker. Okay, so, but that even young boys like E.T., they need to feel these feelings. So then it gets pretty serious and it goes, tearjerkers used to provide a shared space where we had permission to feel those emotions together. Since the era of ancient Greece, dramatic tragedies have offered us a necessary means of emotional purgation, and Aristotle argued that this catharsis served to turn audience members into more attuned, grateful, and ethical citizens. Anything we can do to move that ball forward is what I say, right? Right. Sigmund Freud viewed unexpressed emotion as a threat to mental health, and modern research supports his view, indicating that repressing emotions increases stress, while crying releases oxytocin. Okay, I get that. I totally get that. Okay, and then he goes on and he talks about how all of this internet and all of this mass viewing that we're doing is ruining people's real emotions. And he goes on to argue there's a scene in Terms of Endearment where the character played by Shirley MacLaine berates the nurses in the cancer ward, screaming at the top of her lungs that her daughter is in pain and someone needs to do something about it immediately. If this were a clip shared today on social media, she'd be mocked as an entitled nightmare. Now that's good. But if we saw it in the movie and we had time to grasp what she's going through, because that's not what you get in a clip, that we would have empathy and compassion, and we wouldn't deride, make fun of something we don't understand. So he goes, revive the tearjerker. Give us a reason to cry on one another's shoulders in public again. Feeling the force of our sadness is a prerequisite for feeling the force of our humanity, our compassion, our joy, our delight. This is how it feels to be alive. We need to remind ourselves of that. We need to remind one another. That's beautiful. Right now, I'm going out to dinner. It's Sunday. And there's this wonderful place that we go to. It's called Oz. It's in front of River Place, and it's filled with young people. But it has a great ahi tuna salad. I want to go. I have bought this outfit from Lululemon. I returned my Lola Falana one-piece outfit that was definitely, I don't know who I thought I was when I bought that. I really don't. That was way, way out of my league. But this time, with that money, I bought a pair of shorts. They're not really short, a t-shirt, and a little jacket that goes over it. And I haven't been able to wear it yet because I'm afraid I look young in it. Or I think I look young. Or like, entitled or whatever. I'm scared to go out in public at 1 month shy of 70 in a pair of shorts. But I want to wear it. I bought it. It's a really pretty blue. And I want to be brave. And I want to walk out on a Sunday in front of God knows who and be myself and wear a pair of shorts. Are we allowed to do that? I mean, actually, I'm covering up some of my arms because it's a t-shirt with sleeves. I'm protecting the universe from one of my atrocities. But the other one is my knees. And what happens above my knee. It's not good. It's not good. I know it's not good. But who's looking if I'm invisible? If I'm invisible, let me enjoy it. Who's going to check this out? And I know people are sitting in chairs and they're as tall as my knees when I'm going to walk by. But I'm invisible. I have to get some reward from being invisible. It has to work for me somehow. And so I'm going to wear this pair of shorts. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to fight the good fight. I'm going to be myself. We might even play a little skee ball. It's in the corner. I think it's fun. I know we're old, and I know people are looking at us. Everyone else in that place is 32 years old, tops. And tiny torso girls, all these torsos, like midriff-bearing, unbelievable torsos with like a 2-pack or a 4-pack, and skinny, like 0 body fat. I'm going to walk in. I'm going to order my ahi tuna. I'm going to wear my shorts. I'm going to take my jacket off. I'm going to play a game. I'm going to enjoy my salad. And I'm going to leave because I don't understand why I can't. I'll let you know if I get pelted with marshmallows or odd looks. I'm just going to keep my sunglasses on, keep my head down. I'm doing it for our team. We have a right to go out there and not sweat. I don't have to wear a bodysuit, like sleeves down to my, wrist and in front of the front of my hand and a turtleneck and whatever else I'm supposed to wear so people don't have to look at me. I can't do it. I won't do it. It's 100 degrees, 100% humidity out there. I have to fight back. I'm invisible. Hear me roar. I'll let you know what happens. I'm scared. I'm going to stay sane, even if it works out badly. I'll be back. I'll let you know what they did to me. Do it too. If we're invisible, that means we can go out in anything we want. Gotta give me something. I'll be back.
They